Imagine when you're feeling like, I don't know how, or it's impossible, or I can't do it. And the pattern interrupt just of, and what if I could? What if I could? Then what? Did you know that right now you have an operating system that's been installed in you and programmed in you that's creating your results? Hi, it's Stacey Berger here with Mastering Your Mindset. I am passionate about you living a life that you love. Today, we are talking about condition-based living versus vision-based living. Most of the people on this planet today are living what's called a condition-based life. And I would say that in a lot of ways, so am I, and chances are, so are you. A condition-based life is when we look at the circumstances, we look at the world around us to determine if and when and how we can do something. We look into the eyes of others for their approval. We look at what's happening in the economy. We look at what's in our bank account or what's on our calendar. And we're making decisions and we're making choices based on the current conditions and the circumstances that are going on around us. Now, this is one way to create results. What happens though when we're just looking at what is, when we're just looking at our conditions, we tend to perpetuate the same experiences over and over and over again. Your vision, your goals require you to think differently, to act differently, and really to install this new operating system within you, to reprogram yourself to a new way of thinking, a new way of taking actions, and therefore a new way of producing results. And the way that we do this is we move towards vision-based thinking. So vision-based thinking is, first of all, you have to have a crystal clear vision of where you want to go. So make sure you check out this video on how to create that vision in the most powerful way possible. And once you have that vision, and you create that vision in the absence of knowing how, this is the what would I love, the how is none of your business. You have that crystal clear vision, and then you start to think more so from the vision rather than your circumstances. So let me give you some examples of this. Condition-based thinking would be when we say things like, I'm too busy, I don't have the time for that. We're looking at our calendars, we're looking at our schedules, and the condition and the circumstance is, I don't have the time. And so we don't make the decisions, we don't take the actions that are going to move us towards our vision. If we could reprogram ourselves to say things like, I make time for the things that are important to me. And you can tell just how that shifts the energy, shifts the operating system within you. And as you do that, you'll have different ideas, you'll take different actions. Another example of condition-based living is, I don't have the money for that. We look to our bank account, the money may I living, to determine what's possible. Instead, start shifting that thinking to, what would I love here? What if I believed it was possible? What's a step I can take? As we install that new operating system within us, a new way of thinking, you start to see different ideas, different opportunities, because you're now more in tune to what's possible. Another example of condition-based thinking is, what will other people think? What will other people think? If I move towards this, what are the people in my life going to think? A more vision-based thinking response to that would be, I am the ultimate authority on my life. Notice how that just reclaims your power. So condition-based thinking is when we're looking at our circumstances to determine what's possible. Vision-based thinking is when we're looking at the vision and we're shifting ourselves to think more in alignment to, what if I could? What if I didn't think it was impossible? There are many, many times where I'm on calls with clients and we're talking about their vision and the action step they can take. And the conditioned response is, I don't know, or I've done everything I can, I'm not sure. But just with a little bit of coaching and asking different questions, pretty soon an idea, oh, I could do this. And it's like that idea came out of the blue. But where it came from was by shifting their energy, shifting their perception, asking a different question. And now they have an idea. They have an action to pursue that's going to move them closer to their vision. So what would you love? Start to notice those times where you're looking at your conditions, you're looking at your circumstances, shift the energy and ask better questions. Change that thinking. What would I love here? What would I do if I didn't believe it was impossible? And start to see what happens. I want to see you living a life you love. Here is to your success.